This week in Legal Research, we will be reviewing the types of law and non-law sources that you will be encountering during the legal research process. In order to adequately research your client's issue, you need to understand the basics of the federal and state court system, as well as the hierarchy of the various sources of law. Some sources that we will cover are enacted law, case law, and administrative law. We will also discuss the role of secondary authorities, or non-law sources, in the legal research process. You will be taking a video tour of the JFKU Law Library so you can get a grasp of the general setup and where certain law and non-law sources are located. In the weeks to come, we will return back to the law library to look more closely at individual sources. This week's assignment is meant to test your understanding of different law and non-law sources that we discuss and review during the tour. Now, let's head to the library. Welcome to the JFKU Law Library. When you arrive at a law library, make sure to check in at the front desk. At the JFKU Law Library, you are required to sign in. If you are a student at JFK, you can use the library free of charge. Today we will be going on a general tour of the law library. Hopefully this will give you a better understanding of the layout of a law library and where various legal sources are located. In the next few weeks, we will return back to the law library and focus on specific legal sources. During the tour, it is important to remember that not all law libraries are laid out the same. Here at JFK, you will notice that all of the California law is located on the left side of the library, and all of the federal law is located on the right. Let's start by looking on the California side. When reviewing case law, it is important to understand that court cases, whether federal or California, are organized in volumes called reports or reporters. A single volume is known generically as a reporter. Cases are organized chronologically, not by topic. Basically, a type of reporter, such as the West California Reporter, is started. They begin publishing cases inside as they are decided by the courts. There may be a criminal case, then a property case, a personal injury case, and then another criminal case. It really just depends in what order they are decided. So far, we have looked at the West California Reporter and the California Appellate Reports. Generally, if the term report is used in the title, it means the set is considered official. All this means is that the cases are published under a government mandate. If the term reporter is used, it means that a third party was the publisher. In the case of the West California Reporter, that publisher is West. When the publisher decides that enough volumes have been published, they start a new series. Here is California Appellate Report's 4th series. Notice that each case is given a unique address, known as a citation. This is how they are located. If a citation says 47 Cal App 3D 217, you know that it is located in volume 47 of the California Appellate Report's 3rd series, starting on page 217. Moving on to the California statutes. Statutes in California are published by both Deering's and West, which means that all versions are considered unofficial. The wording of the actual statute is exactly the same, whether you read it in the Deering set or the West set. The key differences lie in the annotations or research tools that each publisher adds. The California Code is organized in sections given a specific title, such as Penal Code, Education Code, or Corporations Code. Since both the Deering's version and the West version are organized the same, you can locate the same section of the Corporations Code in either Deering's or West using the titles located on the spine of each book. Towards the middle of the law library are some of the secondary sources that we will discuss further in week 4. The green volumes are legal digests, which are published by West. They are a secondary authority that can be used to locate case law and statutory law in California. The digests are organized by topics and subtopics and use the West key number system. They correspond to the cases that are published in any of the West California reporters. To the right of the digest is California Jurisprudence 3D, a legal encyclopedia which focuses solely on California law. Not all states have their own encyclopedia, but since California does, this can be a great secondary source to consult when you're working in an unfamiliar area of the law. Now let's move over to the federal side of the law library. The Federal Supplement is a unique set of reporters in that it publishes United States District Court cases. In the state of California, reporters only publish appellate court cases or higher. The Federal Supplement is the exception since it is essentially publishing federal trial court cases. You can also tell that the Federal Supplement is an unofficial reporter published by West because it has the key numbers, meaning that it too is linked to other sources following the West key number system. When using a citation to search for a case in the Federal Supplement, it is abbreviated as FSUP. Moving on to the Federal Reporter, another unofficial reporter, it publishes Federal Court of Appeal cases. Similar to California, the federal cases are published in the order that they are decided and are found using citations. Similar to the Federal Supplement, the Federal Reporter is linked to other West products, which use the West key number system. Finally, the U.S. Supreme Court cases are published in both the U.S. Supreme Court Reports and the Supreme Court Reporter. As I mentioned earlier, the U.S. Supreme Court Reports is an official publication, whereas the Supreme Court Reporter is an unofficial publication. The same cases are found in both the official and unofficial versions. Although the court opinion itself is exactly the same in both sources, we will discuss why you may use one over the other during week 3. As we make the turn to the end of the federal section, you will see the section for federal statutes. Here is the United States Codes annotated, or the USCA. Just as you would use the California codes in researching California law, you would use the USCA if researching federal law. Next to the USCA is the set of American Jurisprudence, 2D, or AMJUR. These are the most well-known of the federal legal encyclopedias. Similar to the California Jurisprudence encyclopedias, you would consult AMJUR if working in an unfamiliar area of the federal law. These are considered secondary sources and are explored in weeks 4 and 5. Back here is where we keep the regional reporters. As we will discuss in week 3, West decided to break up the United States into regions and then publish cases from the region in its own set of reporters. As you may have guessed, California cases are published in the Pacific Reporter. Since California cases are published in official, unofficial, and regional reporters, there are essentially 3 places in the law library where you can find the same exact California case. As we make the turn, you will notice some additional secondary sources. In this corner of the law library are legal periodicals. Legal periodicals include law review journals commonly published by law schools. Some of the law reviews available in the law library include the Harvard Law Review, the Yale Law Review, and the NYU Law Review. On the shelves to the right of the legal periodicals are the American Law Reports. American Law Reports are secondary sources that provide comment on court opinions, along with annotations to other sources. In the aisle over are the restatements of law. These are restatements for torts, contracts, property, corporations. Restatements are secondary sources that can be consulted to learn more about a specific area of the law and are explored in weeks 4 and 5. When working in the law library, it's important to remember that the books we discussed today, there's only one of each. That means you need to find your book, read or copy it, and then return it to the exact location where you found it. We will discuss further library topics in the weeks to come.